for Leanna's birthday.
Yeah, and then we went for Leanna's birthday.
That's the last time I've been. Was
You know?
was June of 2023?
Wow. How do you remember things like
Because
that?
Gigi was pregnant, and I think she had Tommy like right after that dinner.
I still don't know how you remember that either, but I do think it's impressive. I will never not be impressed by people who can be like, oh yeah. Do you know how many times, a perfect example.
Tell me.
I had to, I went to Infinity Med Spa and Wellness.
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
Hopefully they will be one of our new podcast sponsors.
Oh my gosh, you
Yes.
know I would love to talk about that.
Yes. And so, but on like the Marina and Charlotte side,
Yes.
we've worked something out there. And so this is a breaking news. Boop, 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 boop. I have washed my face 4 times in the last 2 days. And that is officially a Miranda and Charlotte world record. A Miranda person. Me, not my Instagram handle. So stupid. I'm not just that. Miranda Catherine Thomas Miller.
Yes.
World record
Yes.
in my entire life. Like from the day I came into the world, August 6, 1981, I can for sure say I have never washed my face 4 times in the span of 48 hours.
Really? Not
Never.
even camping?
Hell no, I don't wash my face camping. That's the last place I
Okay, I'm just trying to think like weird places that. What about
You know the last time I washed my face this consistently?
BravoCon? But
No,
but you
'cause I
didn't
still
wash
did
at
it.
night.
No,
You didn't wash at night.
No, it's when we went to Atlanta for market.
Yes.
And remember, I had just figured out like CeraVe.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah.
and you made me get pretty every day.
Every day you had to
And
get pretty.
Every night you said you will wash your face and I will watch you do it.
Okay, you're right.
Do you remember that upstairs bathroom?
I do remember that. Oh, I love that upstairs bathroom.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah, baby. That was a great bathroom. But I also remember from that trip, speaking of skincare, was Bella. Like the age she was at, she was just kind of getting
Yeah.
into the skincare. So I remember her bathroom and her doing her skincare things.
Yeah,
and it
I
was very
got, and I
cute.
saw the same thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're looking for like an entry level CeraVe for kids, especially because there's no fragrance. That's what's great about them.
CeraVe is
They're
great.
affordable.
Yes.
They work. Great.
Yes.
But and then I dropped off from that. I did it those 3 days. That's it. And I only did it at night. Do you guys, like they say you should wash your face in the morning too. I don't understand. I've done nothing in between nighttime skincare.
I know.
I have slept in that dirty eye mask of mine. Okay, guilty as charged. I do think I need to buy a new one now.
It's time to buy a new one and
Yeah.
maybe wash it every now and again.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. I never have. So I sleep in my makeup anytime I wear it. That eye mask is a different, like the inside of it is the shade of my foundation.
It is.
The outside is dark purple. It's disgusting.
I've seen it.
It is. It's so
because
gross. I can't show it.
Where were we? Somewhere, and we both had eye masks.
The cruise.
And you were like, "Oh, this one's mine."
It was like we were just throwing all this stuff on the bed. I'm like, oh, that one's mine, as if there was any question.
Now mine is greasy. Like
Yes.
it's darker because of all the oils that
And
I've put on.
potions
Yeah,
and lotions
so mine has
and
a
serums.
dark tint, but yours is the color of foundation.
No, mine's just the color of foundation. It's a dark purple eye mask. To be the color of my foundation is a contrast.
I'm dead.
Lily's like, Mom, it's so gross. So now I'm like, well, now my face is clean. I don't
Yeah.
want to put my dirty eye mask on,
No.
but sleep is more important than cleanliness anyway.
It is. I
is.
think for our brains, absolutely.
So I do need to order a new eye mask. Remind me to do that. I will be doing that. Mine eventually did get a hole in it anyway, so I think it's a good call.
Okay.
Okay, so
But you've been washing. So here's what.
Oh, yes.
What you were saying is
the
that
infinity of it all.
you don't understand that I've put good product on at night.
Yeah.
Why do I need to then wake up
Wash it off.
and wash it off again?
Why are we washing off good product?
Well, let me ask you this: are you using a retinol at night? Anything with a Retin-A?
We haven't introduced that yet.
Okay, so for sure, if you are using that at night, you gotta wash your face in the morning because
Sun.
the sun.
Yes, we
It's
don't
just-
want it to get scalded
Yes.
with retinol.
It's gonna burn your face off.
But if you've put the Ulta ND sunscreen on it in the morning,
I
can
know.
you not just put that on top?
I just think we don't want to.
Okay.
Now, if you're not going to be in the sun a lot, does it matter? I don't know. You know who swears that you should not wash your face in the morning?
Who?
You know Jay Shetty. He's on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yes,
The
yes.
light eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have seen him. He's like a very deep thinker.
Like an inspirational, quotey kind of person.
Yes.
And he interviews people and like they all cry.
They cry with
Like,
him.
they cry with him immediately. Like, he only
Yes.
has to ask one question, and it could be like, what's your favorite food? And they're like, it's the time my grandma made me the shashuka, because our Jewish roots are just so deep. And it's like,
And they'll go, no one's ever asked me that before.
no one ever asked me that before, Jay Sheedy. Like, it is that there is like a hypnotizing factor to his question.
There is, because I believe he had studied for a long time to be a monk, like a Buddhist monk.
Right.
So he has kind of that aura. I know
Yeah.
aura is a big word right now with the youth.
Yes, it is.
But he also has,
And the Aura ring.
Yes.
Sponsor us.
Please sponsor us, Aura Ring. He also has those striking eyes.
Piercing.
Piercing, because he has a little bit darker skin, but his eyes are like a light bluish
Yeah.
green. And that's why people are crying.
Yeah.
They're sitting across from him just like they can't even think straight. And then he asks them about their favorite meal and they start sobbing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just like, you know, and I get how this can get some people, but you know, like, what's your favorite memory with your mom or whatever? It's just like, it could be, you know, we went on a great shopping trip once to somewhere, and instead, you know, of course people are going to try to go deeper, but I don't know. My memory's so bad. I would really struggle, I think, to answer some of his questions, but he does a great job. And I think his podcast is like top 5.
It's in the top.
It's really
But
big.
you would cry with him because you're going to just cry.
Oh, I'm going to cry no matter what. But I'm not great at remembering all the things.
Yes. Okay. So his wife, who is also stunning, I should say,
Okay.
she has that little bit darker skin. They kind of could be brother and sister, and everybody tells them this.
Okay.
They sort of look alike, but she's got stunning eyeballs. She will talk about her skincare, you know, on Instagram, whatever, because she has beautiful skin, and she's like, I am not washing my face in the morning.
Okay.
Because she believes your natural oils and what your skin is doing for itself at night should be left alone. Now, she has said if you want to splash a little bit of water on there just to like wake up, then that's fine.
Like a Neutrogena commercial from the 90s. All the water.
And we're all still struggling with that, right?
Yes, that's why I got finally the little wrist guards.
I have the wrist guards. They don't work for me.
Oh, mine stop. Mine stop the water, and that's so great. I don't want it dripping down. I had to put them like here.
Maybe that's what I need to
Yeah,
change.
You got to push them down. They need to be so tight on you, but at least the water is only getting here to here instead of going just all the way. If they're
Yes.
here, it's a little too loose.
Yes.
Yes. So of course, water's gone. Just push them down.
It's just our such small wrists.
I listen, and even when I was big, I had little wrists.
You did.
I did.
We
I
talked about it
big
all the
body,
time. You
tiny wrists. That's why I knew deep down. I knew that there was a thin girl in me, just crying to get out. Just please, God, lose 75 pounds because they were tiny and they looked uncomfortable. They had to hold my weight up because I'm a gymnastics girly and I can still throw stuff.
Yeah.
But the way I was putting the pressure on those wrists, I can still do a handstand, crying for help.
Crying out. So
So they knew, and I knew there was a girl in there, and she needed to be found, and she was. But yeah, you do have to push it down.
yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to retry this because I had
You're
tried
also very thin. Podcast. Push your wristbands. Don't stop the water. It's because you're too skinny. You gotta push your wrist. I understand how we sound. I apologize.
Well,
I
listen,
apologize.
there's all different kinds, and they're probably all different shapes and sizes and materials.
Yes,
and
yes,
I
yes.
just felt that it was still getting into my robe.
Mm.
And do you want to know what gets a wow award from me, friends? is a drenched interior robe sleeve.
Oh boy. That pisses me off for you just thinking about it. Just
Walking
thinking about it.
around, then I'm trying to get ready, and the whole inside of my sleeve is wet.
And now it's cold. No.
It's the worst.
Not in the winter.
No.
No.
So I am a martyr. I will take my robe off. And I'm just naked, cold, shivering to wash my face
And you
because I
still do
don't
it.
want it in the sleeve. And then I'll slip it back on.
No,
It's
no.
hard.
It is hard. It is. And this is the cross we bear.
We've
Okay.
talked about it.
Sorry. Okay. So I have been washing my face. I am actually kind of excited, I will say, because
Yay.
I had to put on makeup today to record.
And did it feel?
No, I don't
Different?
care about that.
Oh.
But I think it's too soon to tell.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't think, we can't build the,
Rome wasn't built in a day.
it wasn't. And neither will this skin. But I will say that because I put on makeup this morning, I now am going to wash my face tonight and I'll be able to wash the makeup wash off.
Yes.
And I think that might be exciting.
That is so you're saying the 2 times you've washed it at night, you
I
haven't
wear
had
makeup.
so you haven't had the makeup on. So are you doing a double cleanse?
Stop it. So I got the products. The other day, and I have not pulled myself together
I know.
to put on any kind of makeup
Yes.
or do anything with my life.
Yep.
Besides rot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even last night when I met April for dinner, I was like, I'm coming in a ball cap.
Yeah.
I'm not cute. I have no makeup on, nothing. I mean, I still think I'm cute without makeup. That's not what I mean. But I just was not feeling
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And she always looks so stunning.
She's always so
which
pulled
is fine.
together.
I'll just stare at her face.
I call her royal. I feel
Yes.
like she could be
She is.
royalty because she's so pulled together in that way.
Well, now we know she is American Dynasty
she
royalty.
is American Dynasty. So,
So it makes
actually,
sense.
that the genetics actually really did work out there for her.
It makes sense.
What she wears, how she does her hair, her makeup, very royal, very Dynasty.
Yeah. So I got to have dinner with her and but yeah, because I didn't wear makeup when I washed last night, it didn't matter again. So now I know it matters. We're supposed to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
But I am excited tonight when I do wash, I'm going to see a physical representation in the sink.
Yes, you need to film that
Yeah.
going down the drain.
Yeah, just circling around. I'll be in a hotel room in Raleigh.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Do that. Try to set that angle up so we
Okay.
can all. I think that's very satisfying footage is
Okay,
to watch
good.
that kind of stuff. Like,
I do like watching people
yes.
wash, and you can see the makeup bubbling up in the foam. Do you like that?
Oh, do I like that?
Baby.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah, and
people
it
like
foams.
the pressure washing videos.
Oh, yes. Oh, the rug washing.
The rug washing.
Have y'all seen these?
It's very niche, and I don't think everyone has seen the rug washing videos.
Oh my gosh, I am fed them.
I am fed them, and I will watch one literally if it's 5 minutes. I don't
Same.
care. I will spend 5 minutes watching them
Same.
layer after layer after layer get
Of
that
soap and then the squeegee thing and then pushing it to the edge and then taking the pressure washer and rinsing it and then they have to go around the edge to get that dirty water off.
And isn't
then they
it
flip
shocking what is revealed?
It's amazing. Well, that's why you stick around because you're like, what is the design on this rug? And also, how do they get so dirty?
I don't know. Are they getting them out of dumps? Have they been
Yeah.
in a flood? I don't know, but I'm not understanding why they're so dirty.
One, I don't think that people are actually giving them these dirty of rugs to then take back in their home because they're so old and,
Okay.
and gross. I think that they go and yes, they dumpster dive for these rugs.
Okay.
They clean them and then their service says for anything clean in your home,
Yes.
call us.
Okay.
I just think it's to capture people's attention and it still is a cleaning service.
It's so smart.
But it's it's for upholstery cleaning and things like that. But
Yeah.
I am Speaking of, Jay Sheedy's eyes on these rugs.
Oh.
Hypnotized. Hypnotized.
If they cleaned a rug and then it was Jay's eyes underneath, can you
Great.
imagine?
Great.
Cover photo.
Do that.
Cover photo. Speaking of which, cleaning things off, I forgot to say this, and I know you've thought it, and I think I've heard you at some point kind of mention it in the last 2 weeks. When Spencer Pratt goes and gets his crystals,
Yes.
and he said he's going to polish up all the ones that burnt in the fire,
Yes.
and they'll be small, and he's going to then sell those polished stones.
Yes.
We are getting that, right?
Obviously, yes.
Okay, I just
Yes.
wanted to make sure I wanted that
Yes.
to be on the record.
Well,
that-
we've already talked about Pratt Daddy Crystals, but we haven't supported him before.
We haven't, and-
except for talking about them, which is support.
Yes, but a lot of them, I mean, some of them are very pricey,
Yeah,
right?
very.
But I think he sees that like a lot of us do want to buy like, okay, a $50
$20.
crystal. Yeah, like we're willing to 20, 50. Yeah. That Why didn't I go 75?
50's low for you, and you know it.
I don't think he's going to sell it for 20. Let me just say
Yeah,
that.
I
But,
know.
okay, let's say 40. $40 crystal on a gold-plated chain. I do think he's realizing like there are thousands of people that will
Yes.
buy this.
Absolutely.
So if I can polish them up real small, I'll break them up real small, polish them up, stick them on a chain. I can make money that way.
Absolutely.
So we will have that in this here podcast room. We will be wearing them.
We will be wearing our Pratt Daddy crystal necklaces
Yes.
and see, if that will thwart off any bad things from happening to us, as promised by Spencer Pratt.
Yes.
He's got a lot. He's got a lot in the works. He's got a lot of stuff going on. They are going to be richer than they ever have been before.
Yes, it's a phoenix from the ashes, literally.
It is.
Literally, it is that.
It is. He should just get that tattooed on his chest at
Yes,
this point. Just a
should.
phoenix rising from the ashes. I don't know if he has any tats.
I don't think he does. Well,
Have I seen him? Well,
I don't know.
meow.
We're gonna get to the bottom of that for sure. But
Yeah.
you know how he could also be doing his videos is now with the crystals, and he did a little one.
I
Did you
did.
see the heart crystal?
I did. I shared it to our page.
Okay, great. So he found this heart kind of geode
Yeah.
in the rubble, and he showed himself finding it. Then the next video was him washing it off, scrubbing it, getting it clean. That was mesmerizing, just like the rugs.
We will watch that.
Right?
We will watch it all day, every day.
So that
Spencer.
is what Spencer needs to do.
1 minute and 1 second 1 minute and 1 second videos.
Yeah.
Of you just cleaning up your crystals and then list them online. You already have a website. Just get it going, bud.
Oh my gosh,
But I
I
know that
can't
there's a
wait.
lot going on. But
Okay.
is this a
Yes.
good time to talk about the TikTok?
Oh yes, it's a good time. It's a good time. How long was it, Con?
15 hours. 15 hours. That's how long it was gone. I tried to tell y'all. I tried to tell you. I don't think it's really going away for long. I don't know if it's going away at all, but it's certainly not going to be for long. What did I also tell you? Follow the money and see where it goes.
Correct.
It's just a way for these billionaires to get richer.
That's right.
Because they have now pushed people to download an app that they thought was going away. And a lot of people did. Ooh, I do feel for the people though who deleted it off of their phones because now they cannot get it back.
Yeah, because here's what I found interesting that I didn't realize was going to happen is that when it, quote, went away, you opened TikTok and I thought you'd still sort of be able to use it. But like we said, the software would kind of diminish and then go away completely. When you opened it, you got a screen that said, sorry, this is not available in your country anymore.
Yep.
We'll see if we can get it resolved. See ya.
Yep.
And so that I think is why people were like, I might as well just remove it.
Yeah, I might as well remove it. And they did. And now.
Not me. I didn't remove it.
No, did not remove it off my phone because now that I have the cloud, I have that storage back. So I don't have to go through and delete random apps all day, every day.
Thank
And
God.
then get them back when I need them, like Uber.
That
you
was
know?
serendipitous. Like
It
the
was.
fact that you happened to get that 100 gigs back
Yep.
in time so you didn't delete TikTok. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It was huge. Game changer.
Ugh.
So it stayed on my phone. I didn't really think about it. And then, of course, I went back to it, not even habitually because I don't check it that much.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I need to see what Spencer's doing. So I went to Instagram, but then for whatever reason, I clicked back on TikTok and he was talking to me again.
Yeah.
He was the first person I
Isn't
saw.
that crazy?
I was like, wait, what?
Well, the
Hold on.
pop-up message I found very interesting, the message that popped up.
The messages here, the whole like, Trump's going to fix it maybe, and then Trump fixed it.
It was I was surprised that it was so
Me too.
on the nose. It was literally like, thank you, President Donald Trump, for working out a deal so that we can move forward with TikTok in the United States of America.
I thought it was so cringy. I was like, what are we doing here? Like,
Well, I think he probably struck a deal with them and he was like, listen, I'll let
That's
you
it.
keep it around, but you got to put my name in
course he
the
did.
welcome message.
of course he did. That's exactly what happened.
He's a businessman through and through.
He is a businessman through and through. But I find, but because he did that, then it got all these people saying this one sentence thing that was making me insane. So
What?
I am going to use the time here to clear this up, you guys.
Oh.
Okay. So because of the messages being like, President Trump is trying to work on this on the outgoing one, and then President Trump fixed this on the incoming one, people were like, ugh, I don't want to give him credit no matter how much I like this app. I don't want to give President Trump credit for this. La, 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 la. At that time, still president-elect because he did it the day before.
Yeah,
he was inaugurated anyway.
He did.
But so then people started to be like, well, he's the one who called for the original ban to begin with in 2020, and now he wants to save it. He did that just so that he could say that he was the one who saved it. And so
I never heard that.
Oh my gosh. My entire feed was like, let's not act like he wasn't the one who tried to ban it. So he tried to ban it. Now he's the one who brings it back to look like a savior or whatever. And so then I thought to think,
Yes.
let me go dig into this a little bit. Because of course I had heard the rumblings of he's the one who tried to ban it. He's the one who tried to ban it. But now that it's good for him, now that it could be good PR, now that it could be good for whoever's wallets, now he's suddenly fine with saving it. So I went and I did a little bit of research on this. No, I actually did a lot of research on this. And it turns out that in 2019, there was this huge investigation done on TikTok.
Okay.
And through that investigation, our government realized that it was a huge breach of security, a huge security threat, because people who had it downloaded on their phones who were in the military,
Oh.
they could see their geolocation.
Oh, that's not good.
So the Chinese company Byte could see where our soldiers were around the world if they had TikTok downloaded onto their phone.
That is really bad. No.
That's bad, right?
Yeah.
So they do this investigation and everyone agreed. Bipartisan agreement in 2020.
Yeah.
And Chuck Schumer was one of the ones who led the biggest charge in it. Okay, y'all? He's not a Republican, in case you didn't know. So he was like, we have to make some rules here. And so if you were in the government, if you were in the TSA, if you were in the military, you were not allowed to have TikTok on your phone.
Whoa, I did not know this.
You were not allowed to have TikTok on your phone. So President Trump, who is the president at the time, said, well, then, do we need to ban this altogether?
Yeah.
If we can't even allow these people, then what other information do they have and could weaponize and use against us? And I understand we're just regular Joe Blows. If they can find my location, okay.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'm posting from it anyway, probably tagging the restaurant I'm at.
Yes.
That's not a problem. You guys aren't special. We are not special.
Yes. Go back to that episode.
There are people who are special and who they can't have a geolocation.
I mean, even if it's like a state senator, I mean, to say it could be someone local government, it could be a mayor, it could be not even someone that's federal, but to even just know those people's location, dig into their information, know where they're going, like that's not good.
It's not good. So
you could figure out where they do their banking.
Yep.
You could figure out where their kids go to school through that. Like that's bad.
One thing, banking information is attached to a lot of these accounts because they do make money that way. And so what Trump took from this huge, probe and all these other people who were bringing this to the forefront, the Schumers of it all and stuff, were like, hey, if this is bad, then it's bad for everyone.
Yes.
And what else do they have information wise and how are they using it? Even if it's just our data for shopping preferences or whatever, then that still can be used for, okay, then they're going to develop this specific product and then market it to us. And also, y'all, something to know, China doesn't have TikTok on their phones.
They don't.
They don't allow TikTok on their phones.
Yeah.
It's their company and they don't allow it on their phones.
It's so weird. That's so wild to me. What are we doing?
Then they started realizing the addictive properties of it, how dangerous it was for kids, how there were spikes and all these things. So you combine all that together, and that's why Trump said, then do we need to ban this? What are we going to do here? And so he, being the president at the time, did say, if everyone's agreed to this, then we need to ban it.
Yeah.
Now, do I think he did it? Narrator. Do I think he did this 5 years ago thinking he was going to be reelected in 2025 and become president again just so he could save it? No, you dummies.
No.
I don't think that he did that. So stop saying it.
No.
Stop saying it. It's lazy. It's low-hanging fruit.
Yes.
Kind of banter and chatter and all that sort. I said batter. It's lazy.
Yeah.
It's lazy. And it just tells me you didn't research it at all and that you actually have no clue what you're talking about, but you saw someone commented in an Instagram comment or you saw someone posted in a meme or a reel and then it became your truth.
Yes.
And it's not the truth.
Yes.
So in those 4 years after he, is not president anymore, here comes Biden and Kamala. And there were years and years where it was just stuck in litigation.
Yeah.
Where it was like, we're going to shut it down. And then they would have a pause on that. And then, and Byte would say, well, we're going to try to do this. And they tried to find buyers.
Yes.
They tried to find investors. They tried to find a way to switch the data over. They tried to find how could they divest this? Like,
Yes.
there were lots of things that they were trying to do because ultimately they weren't trying to ban the app. They were just trying to make the app safer
Yes.
for Americans.
Yes.
And so,
Which we should all want.
Yeah.
No matter who's leading the charge, we should
Yes.
all want it. And let's be honest, you said this was bipartisan.
yes.
Y'all have got to understand, like, for anything like that was such a big deal for this to happen. Even for 15 hours for TikTok to be shut down, that had to have had so much support on both sides of the aisle.
It did.
It didn't matter who was president. It didn't. None of that mattered. It really mattered who was in Congress, and that the vast majority agreed on it and said, this is a security
It
threat.
went to the Supreme Court. They
Yeah.
upheld the ban.
Yeah.
They said, this is so dangerous.
Yeah.
We are upholding the ban. Then you were given your 9 months. And then Joe said, well, we're going to do it in 6 months. And that's why the timing hit.
Yeah.
So 6 months from the date in August where they had decided this to this one random date in January.
Yeah.
It just happened to be the day before President Trump was coming.
So it's Joe's fault. If he said it to 6 months before, Trump's coming in, geez.
He did. And
Maybe he set him up.
Biden could have had, he could have said, I'm going to sign an executive order about this. I'm going to handle it. But instead, he goes, I'm going to punt this one to Trump. I'm punting it to him. This can be his problem when he takes office.
Interesting.
And so that's why he had to be the one to say, hey, you know what? I've met with the president of Byte. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name.
Yeah.
I've met with him. We have come to an agreement. We have come to something where I believe that we are going to be safe. We are going to do this. They're still trying to find a way for America, I think, to own like 51% of it versus 49. But he said, I feel reassured.
Good.
Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to go. There's still a lot to do here. But he felt okay with whatever resolution they had come to, this agreement, whatever, to then say we can pick it back up again for now.
Yes.
And so that's why it seems like he did it. But do I think that Trump, Biden punted it to him? That's just point blank, period. Biden could have just said, all right, fine. He's the one who signed it. Biden signed it months ago. He's the one who said, we are doing this. Supreme Court upholds the ban. But then right before Joe leaves office, he goes, I'm going to make Trump deal with this. So then Trump dealt with it. And Trump said, you know what? I think that it's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. We're going to bring TikTok back up. He didn't do that. 5 years ago, Trump could have never predicted that he was going to have a second term in office and was going to suddenly be able to fix the TikTok of it all.
No.
Like, y'all are nuts.
He's not Nostradamus.
No.
Like, no. He's not.
And it's so funny because the people who drag him for being such an idiot and a this and a that think that he puppet mastered this whole entire thing 5 years apart. He's the one who banned it, and now he can be the savior.
Yeah.
He didn't. He literally was the president at the time, both times now.
Yes. It's kind of how Spencer has said, one day he was a loser, poor, D-list celebrity. And then when his house burned down, suddenly he's a rich celebrity who can afford to rebuild his home, right?
Right.
So the question is, how can you be both? And that's such a good point, is people want to say Trump is the big, dumb, orange idiot. But yet you're saying he's the mastermind behind bringing TikTok back right when he goes into office. Like, what?
Such a joke.
The critical thinking is struggling. Yeah.
The critical thinking is struggling.
Yeah.
In this case, you don't just get to say things. Like, I do believe, I am just someone who, if I see something and it's just a little too clever, it's just a little too perfect. It's a little too baity, either rage baity or whatever. I'm always going to go and look myself and see what the hell really did happen here. And if that's the case, then I will right there alongside you be like,
yes,
this was just, didn't this work out for him? Doesn't this look so great? It's just not the case
it's
here.
It's not true.
It's not the case. He only said, should we ban this based on a bipartisan effort to do so?
Yes.
Led by many Democrats and led by many Republicans,
Mm-hmm.
and the Supreme Court upheld it and everything. He's just dealing with what is in front of him.
That's right.
what the president has to do.
Yeah.
They have to deal with what is in front of them. But just, Biden could have done it. That's all.
He could have done it.
He could have. And then people would have been like, yay, Biden
Yeah.
saved TikTok.
That's true.
He could have.
You're right.
He didn't. So I
He
don't
chose
know
not
why-
to, and probably chose not to for a reason. I don't know what that
Exactly.
reason is, but
he was already, because he was done.
he was done.
He was done.
I think he's ready to just like go be a grandpa.
Absolutely.
I guess I'm just saying that from my perspective. I would be like, I've been doing this for so long. I am tired. I want to just go be a grandpa.
50
and like,
years in public service,
Ugh.
in the government.
no, thank you.
Yes, let me go to my beach in Delaware, please.
Yes,
Which
please.
is still crazy that I saw him in Delaware headed to the beach.
Wait, do I know that?
Yeah, on my road trip. On our road trip this summer. I
Hang on.
posted about it. I posted about it in the stories. Y'all,
Did you tell everybody here?
No, I don't think so. But y'all, it was so freaking crazy.
Like you saw his body?
His motorcade. They drove right by us on the highway.
I don't think I knew this.
So y'all, this is the weirdest thing. So, we do these road trips. They're usually 2 weeks in the summer.
Yeah.
We're crossing back and forth America.
Mhm.
We are traveling thousands and thousands of miles. At any given time, we are moving 500 to 600 miles a day.
Yes.
So it just timed out. And this summer's, we went up all the way to Canada, to Quebec City, and then we came back down the eastern shoreboard.
Yes.
And so shoreboard,
Seaboard?
seaboard,
Yeah.
seaboard and shore
And
is now shoreboard.
She sells seashells down by the seashore.
Those I can do. The R's, I'm out. So we're coming back down it. And of course, we need to stop in every state and do something to count it.
Mm.
So as we approached Delaware, it was raining so hard that day, I remember. We approached Delaware and I'm like, all right, it's about to be lunchtime, so this will be our Delaware thing. Let's find a good place online to eat. We go to this little Mexican restaurant and we eat. We get back in the car and now it's time to move on to the next state. And we get on the highway and I notice all these flashing lights on the other side of the highway. And it's just got a little barrier in the middle. So I see all these flashing lights, the black cars with the sirens and the lights and the this and the that. And I'm like, Joe Biden's from Delaware.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's him. So
Because who else would have such a processional?
Delaware.
Yeah. That,
like nothing, no offense if we have Delaware people, but it is a very tiny state. And there are
Yeah.
not a lot of people there.
and I would say even the governor would not have such a.
huge motorcade.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and so much fanfare. So I pick up my phone. I record this very quickly. And then, as always, you see the ambulance go by and everything. There's always an ambulance with motorcade in case something happens. They can revive. They can try to save. They can do all the things.
Crazy.
So if you've ever seen an ambulance and wondered why, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I record it and I'm like, you hear me on my phone go, I wonder if that's Joe Biden. And then sure enough, you can see where the president is every day. So it's on the White House website
Oh my God.
that you can see what their plan is, where they're supposed to be every day. And sure enough, this day at this exact time, he was leaving somewhere in Delaware where he was giving a speech and he was driving to what did I say? Giving a speech and he
Yeah.
was driving somewhere to the beach.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, that's exactly that. It was him.
You
oh my
saw him. Like you saw him. We're going to just say you saw him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
through the windows
Yeah.
of his black armored vehicle.
He could have seen you.
He
Let's put it that way because he
could
could have seen you through your clear glass, your purple hair.
He could have, but it was just of all the timing. Of all the timing, of all the miles we had driven, of all the places we had gone.
Just that one moment.
that one moment when we are leaving the restaurant in Delaware to go to the very next state. And what's funny is the next place that we were headed was Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's so crazy.
So we were like, we didn't see him, the president who currently resides in the White House. We didn't see him there, but we saw him in Delaware.
Going to the beach.
What are the chances, though? It was why I was like the timing of this, like do 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 do. Oh, and we had just come from Philadelphia. Where we had learned about the birthplace, kind of our country and our
Yes.
presidents and our government and all that sort
Where
of
you
stuff.
didn't remember being.
Correct. Where I was actually in the room where it happened. So we had left Philadelphia. We had gone to Delaware, saw our real life president, and then
Yes.
went to Washington, D.C., where he wasn't.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that weird?
You want to talk about Washington, D.C.?
Should we get into it?
it's up to you.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Well, I feel like I have things to tell you.
I know nothing. Okay, so speaking
hang
of
on.
Washington, D.C.
Let's get into our...
We'll do it in 2 and 2.
Okay.
Speaking of motorcades, Washington, D.C., president.
Yes, it all goes together. That's
I...
where you were, little Chrissy T.
Okay, this past weekend, I was in Washington, D.C.
Yes, you were.
for the inauguration.
Yes, you were.
I was. And there are a couple different things that came together for me to be doing this, but one of our dear friends, probably I would say was like a life goal, would be to go to this. And she had just turned 40.
I would love to go to an inauguration.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's
would-
history.
I would love to go to
It's
an inauguration.
literally history. I didn't hesitate at all when this was brought up.
I was really bummed I couldn't go this time.
Yeah, yeah.
I genuinely was very bummed. I had FOMO. Y'all know I love to be at a zeitgeist.
Yes.
If it's happening, I want to be there. If it's a trial, if it's a coronation, if it's an inauguration, I want to be boots on the ground,
Yes.
10 toes down,
Yes.
whatever the rest of that is.
4 on the floor.
So I want to, report live from the streets.
Yes.
From these streets.
And that's kind of how I felt about it. It's like, yes, I want to like go and support my friend to be able to do this amazing
Yes,
thing
yes,
for her
yes.
birthday. But it was also like, this is only the second president ever to have 2 inaugurations that are not back to back.
Yeah.
This is history in the making.
Mhm.
This is going to be crazy.
Yes.
And so we had to plan this very quickly. The turnaround was very quick. The plane tickets, the hotel, everything was done in one day.
Yep.
And then it was just, okay, now we're just waiting and here it comes.
Ordering outfits.
Yeah. Ordering outfits, thinking through, trying to make some sort of plan. You know, when 200 plus thousand people are trying to come and everybody wants to be somewhere,
Yes.
it's very limited and everything feels very secretive and everything is,
Yes.
you know, you kind of have to know people and have connections. And so
Yeah.
we were pulling any strings that we could. Thankfully, we had people come through.
Yeah.
We were able to get tickets to the inauguration, but as probably everybody knows,
Yeah.
it was moved inside.
Such a bummer.
Such a bummer.
It was such a bummer. I felt for people because again, if it would be the same for me. Like if I had a ticket to go like for the coronation, like on the on the Mall, it's like everyone can stand there, but then the rain starts to come and then you're just like, well, now what do we do? Are they even going to come out onto the balcony for you to see them? And that was the one moment that you were going to see
right.
them. Very similar. And I was just like, thank God, even though it was pouring rain, they still came out. But if they hadn't, what a bummer.
What a bummer because
I feel for you.
you're thinking like, okay, well, this is why I came,
This
you
is why I
know, like
came.
this was the whole point. And I really
Yeah.
kind of reading things leading up to it. I really was feeling for people who were like, I flew from California and
Yeah.
I paid for 3 nights of hotels and da-da-da. Like I was really feeling for people. I knew we were still going to make our way and have a good time.
Had the best time.
But we and sweet Matt on our first night there were a couple of balls, like inaugural balls happening for different states.
Yeah.
And by the time we even looked at them, they were sold out. Like that was it. There was nothing we could do. And then Matt, of course, is constantly looking at maybe there's tickets here or there. And he saw a special release for South Carolina and he scooped up 4 tickets.
I was wondering, I figured you wrote like a representative.
No, now a representative did give us the tickets to the actual inauguration.
Okay.
So that is how we got
Because
that.
anyone can go to like the public
Yeah.
part of it, the outside part of
yes.
it, where you can go, stand in between like the Washington Monument and
Yes.
obviously the Capitol.
Yes. So there's different kind of like, there's a pink area, the orange area.
Okay.
And in order to stand in some of those, you've got to have a ticket
Okay.
from a congressperson.
Okay.
And so we had secured that, but
Did you go through Tom Tillis?
we did not. I don't
okay.
know if I mean, I think it's fine to say, but just
Oh,
in
okay.
case I won't.
Okay.
But
That's who got me my passport. That's why
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
shout
yeah.
out Tom Tillis's office because they're wonderful.
yes.
So
Same. That's how we got ours too.
I said North Americans, North Carolinians. If you need anything, Tom's your guy. Tom's office is operating on a Nirvana level.
They are. And some
Yeah.
might want to call him Thom.
Thom, because there is a THO and TH in there. Yeah.
Tom Tillis, but it is Tom.
Tillis. Yep.
But anyway, so we are ready to go Saturday night.
Yeah.
We're going to fly out Sunday. We get a text at 9:30. Your flight has been canceled.
I saw.
Woo!
Y'all had already gone to the airport at this time?
No. This was the night
Okay.
before.
Oh, the night before. Okay.
So we just very quickly said, we will pivot.
Yep.
We will pivot.
Pivot.
Pivot. And I was texting with Jen and we were like, okay, we will drive. We will just drive
Yes.
one way.
It's fast. It's 7 hours up to DC.
Yeah, it was fine.
nothing.
And we knew, like, as 4 adults going, that we wouldn't have to make a lot of stops.
No, you have no kids with you. You're stopping once maybe. If you plan it just right, you leave in the morning after breakfast, you stop
Yeah.
one time for lunch and gas refill, and then you're there by 2 p.m.
Exactly. And that's like literally exactly. And just as we were coming in, here comes the snow. And so she did a great job at driving us in. She was very mother. She was
Yes.
very, like, we were like, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we get in, we get over to our hotel. Pretty quick turnaround. We've got maybe 2 hours before we need to leave for the ball.
So you guys have to get so gorge.
Yes, yes. And so we get ready, we throw ourselves together, we take pictures. It all just was kind of like, is this happening? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
The energy.
Did y'all all share one room or did you split 2 rooms?
We were in one room,
Okay.
2 queen beds. I just like knocked myself out with drugs.
I was curious about how that went.
I fully knocked myself out.
And
it still wasn't great sleep,
No,
but I
no.
knew it wouldn't be.
It's never going to be.
It's never gonna be.
No.
I took that photo to show you how bright it was in the room.
And all of those, and the 3 girls were just snoozing?
They were asleep. It was past midnight, and I was still just
What?
trying to like land the plane in my brain.
Yes.
The 3 of them were asleep, so that's why I took that photo to show the brightness. Can you believe that?
No, I can't. I shan't, and I won't.
And I did. I had to upload it. I'm like, I just need Miranda to see this photo.
Thank
at
God
least.
for our eye mask.
I know.
Our sleep mask.
I just-
I guess it doesn't matter as much anymore, but it's wild to me that people can
Yeah.
not wear eye mask and sleep through that
The
brightness.
3 of them didn't have them on.
It's sorcery.
It's shocking.
What in the sheedy is happening?
Oh my gosh. So the room situation was great. And it felt like even the time we were in there was so small because we were constantly running
Out.
from one thing to the next. So
Yeah.
we go out to the ball and
Were
definitely.
you able to get an Uber there? Were y'all, or was it close enough to walk? Because I heard that the
Oh, yeah.
transportation situation was terrible, and it wasn't just because of the snow. It just seemed like
So
no one was driving.
what they did is they had set up, y'all, I have to say, because I think there probably were some people in my life who were feeling really nervous about me going to this, you know,
Okay.
just safety wise. And is it going to be secure? You know, we've already had an attempt on his
Sure.
life before. And I, even a little part of me was a little bit like, okay, head on a swivel. Let's be safe.
Absolutely.
When we got there and saw how things were locked up, I immediately felt at ease.
Yeah.
So many armored vehicles,
Yes.
armored trucks, tanks, perimeters, fences.
Snipers on roofs.
It was crazy. I mean,
yeah.
I did not see one protester. I did not see one Antifa.
Oh,
I did
wow.
not see anyone the entire
No
time.
bad faith actors anywhere.
None. Nobody.
Interesting.
Not a one.
Okay.
I think people just scattered and just said, it's not, we can't even try. Like, there's no way to even try to cause a scene here.
Okay.
So because of that perimeter, so there's this huge perimeter around Capitol Hill.
Sure.
That was set up probably a week prior. And so Ubers could get you to that fence,
But
but
that's
that's as close as you could get.
Dang.
It didn't matter if you had on your Uggs or heels, you were going to have to walk to where you needed to get. And
Okay.
we just mentally prepared for all of that. We just
Right.
knew.
Okay.
And so our Uber got us close. It is still snowing. So we are
Right.
walking in the snow in our heels, shuffling to the South Carolina ball.
Yeah.
But it was funny because you would start to see different people in gowns and tuxedos coming. And so we all just sort of clung together
Right.
to make our way to the Smithsonian. So we got there.
So that's where it was. The
It was the
Smithsonian.
Smithsonian
Oh.
of American art, something like that. The venue was perfect. Lovely. Lovely.
Oh my gosh. I'm so obsessed with that.
Right. There were like trees inside and it was packed. We really didn't know, again,
Okay.
because of the weather and like, I don't
What's
know.
the situation? Is this open bar? Is
Oh, yeah.
this
Yeah.
okay?
You paid for the ticket and it was
Okay, got
food,
it.
open bar.
Can I ask how bad was the ticket?
It was about $300.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah. And these were last minute release. Now they had VIP tickets. We didn't get one of those.
I don't think 300's bad for a
Yeah.
South Carolina State ball, inaugural
And it's
ball
an
at the
open bar and
Smithsonian
food.
and an open bar and all food. I mean, there are charities in Charlotte that charge you that to go to something on a Saturday night.
Correct. And I felt like,
If not more.
we had dinner plans anyway. Our plan originally was to go to a really nice dinner, be dressed up, do the whole thing. We would have spent maybe $200
Sure.
on that. So
Absolutely.
we felt pretty good about it.
Also, let me just say, you girls all looked so stunning.
Thank
looked
you.
so beautiful.
Thank you.
Gigi looks
Can
phenomenal.
you believe that?
Phenomenal, Gigi. If you're listening, please know that I did DM you and tell you how incredible you looked.
Oh,
Body, yaddy.
it's keto.
Stunning. I literally was like, holy moly, jaw dropped on the floor. I just haven't seen her in a minute.
I know.
But especially like dressed up.
I know.
And I thought you all looked absolutely beautiful. I just wanted Gigi to get a special little shout out
That's
because
so sweet.
I thought it was probably one of the best I've seen her look.
Yeah, that
Like,
Matt said
it
the
was
same thing.
Absolutely
He
gorgeous.
said the same thing about
the
Gigi.
face, the everything. It just hit from head to toe. I just wanted to let her
And
know.
you know what? I'm so mad. And Gigi, you're hearing this, and we haven't even talked about it. We meant to take a picture of her doing the woman emoji dance because
Right.
that was the
The
exact
red.
dress that
Yeah.
that emoji has on, and we forgot to do it.
Oh, damn.
So we'll
Have to wear it again.
We'll recreate it.
Yeah.
But
Next inauguration.
we two of us had on black and two of us had on red.
It was
And
perfect.
I had brought a red and a gold, and I just said, "I'll do whatever needs to be done here."
Right. Well, you are such a giver.
I'm such a giver.
It's when it comes to outfits, it's really I'll just do whatever someone tells me to with the outfits for you.
Whatever supports the group best is what I will do. And that
If
is
I
what
were
did.
there, I would have worn the blue dress from that event that I wore
yes.
recently. I'm just letting you know. I was not included in this, but I was supposed to go to the inauguration through someone else.
Yes, you were invited
Yes.
to go.
I was invited to go through someone else, and so I would have worn a blue dress, and it would have been really cute
Yes.
for you to be in red,
Right.
and me to be in
I
blue,
know.
and then to find someone in white, and I'm sad.
So patriotic. Did you like my airport or my driving up outfit? The red bodysuit with the blue coat.
The red bodysuit with the big blue fur coat. I said, where does she find these things? She had and yes, you did hear that correctly. She had a driving up outfit because Kristen is nothing if not consistent. There's a driving up outfit that's going to be themed. Then she had to change into the gown, of course. I'm sure she had some sort of pajamas with a patriotic or American flag theme. Don't doubt it for 1 second. The next day, it was amazing. Everything was so good. The Lukes y'all were serving.
We were serving
10 out of 10.
Lukes, right?
10 out of 10. And Jen's was kind of capey.
Oh,
Is that
Jen's.
like a sheer cape.
It was sheer, sparkle sheer on the side. And then we ran into a girl there who had on the same dress. I took a picture of them together.
So
It
cute.
was so cute. They were both tall women. I think you kind of had to be a tall woman to wear
Absolutely.
that dress.
Yeah,
right?
she looked great. Everybody looked so good. Everybody was stunning.
Yeah.
I love seeing
Michelle
it.
looked
I just
so
love
hot.
the pomp and circumstance
Yes,
of it all.
it was really. So we get there, we go to the coat check, and I wanted to share this. Like when I talk about the security, like you go to the coat check and you're waiting in line, and we see this room. It's just an empty room in the museum, just a random, and there's 15 just like military people standing in there,
Yeah.
just in the Smithsonian, just here just in case they're
Just
just
in case.
they're just sitting in that room.
Ready, waiting to go.
Yeah, none of them were doing anything. They weren't on phones. They were just sitting there.
You
And they're
probably never feel well. You know what? They weren't on TikTok.
They were not on TikTok. Know that. And they were in their fatigues. And I saw that and I just thought, wow, like any ball, any event, anywhere you go, there are just rooms filled with service people,
Yeah.
like ready to jump into action. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And so it was really neat. The event itself was cool. You got to walk around the museum and see the art if you wanted to. They had the step and repeat. They had the 360 camera.
Yeah.
Great band dancing. We got little South Carolina tambourines. Like
Cute.
it was just, they did a great job.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's really interesting.
Tell me.
We looked around and the majority of the age group of people there
Sure.
was either, let's say 60 and up, maybe 55 to 65, or very young,
Very young.
20s. A
Interesting.
lot of people in their 20s.
Wow.
I found that very, very
Yeah.
interesting. I think that we're kind of told that the youth of America really
Yeah.
only lean one way.
Yeah.
And so I had observed this separately. And then some of the other girls were like, did you notice that? And it was kind of crazy. So I thought that was kind of cool because it's like, you know
Yeah.
what? We still have diversity of thought in
Sure.
this country.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have to feel like everything's leaning so hard one way or the other. Like everyone's here and they're in a good mood and they're
Yeah.
happy. And it was just neat to see that. I don't know. It's like Way to go, youth.
Way to go, you.
Like, way to care.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like either way you want to break here, it's just to give a rip
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like that you have to get involved and you have to know at least what you stand for. You can't be indifferent. That it needs to matter enough because you are of voting age. You are you work, your taxes are being, taken out from your paycheck.
Right.
Like, I do love those reels that go around where it's like, my son just got his first paycheck.
I know.
I mean, same thing happened. Oh, by the
Bella.
way, Kristen, what is on here? What is on my chin? What's this reflection in the computer?
On your chin?
Yeah, do you see it? And now it's on my cheek.
Is it from your glasses, maybe?
I don't know. Like it's like right here behind my chair. See these two dots?
I literally don't see.
You don't see these two dots right here? One there and one there, like a reflection.
Oh, I do. Okay, now go back.
Okay, they're like what is this reflection? Like, see how it's on my chin now? No.
Oh, it's just on the screen.
Oh my gosh.
There was like something on the screen.
It was driving
No.
me crazy because I thought
I'm so sorry.
No, I thought it was like maybe a reflection, from the lights or something. And I was moving back and forth trying to figure out like, okay, well, how can I get it right? It was like in the middle of my mouth as I talked. So I was like, I'm trying to move around.
It literally was like 2 grains of rice.
Sorry for being distracting.
I love that.
The point is that the kids have to care.
Yeah.
They do. And the reels of it all. But getting that first paycheck and being like,
Oh,
Oh.
it's like, why is all this money taken out of my
Where's-
check?
what does all this mean? Oh, I thought that I know I get paid $15 an hour and I worked 20 hours. So
Yeah.
where's my, $300
Yeah.
paycheck? And then you have your kids like look at it and it's 112.
Uh-huh.
And then I showed that little box up above, and
Yeah.
Bella was like, what? I
Yep.
said, welcome to the real world, baby.
Yep. This is it. You think you're getting paid, but
So-
you're getting half of that.
So it's nice to see just young kids care either way. Like,
Yeah.
just be passionate. Just kind of give a shit.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
how I felt
Like,
about it. It was like, it's very cool to just see like, okay, like the youth really do care and they're putting in the effort. And
yeah, but be informed about what you care about. Like,
Yes.
don't just be like, okay, TikTok told me this, and now it's true. Like I just said,
Right.
it's not. But anyway,
yeah. So we do the ball. Gigi was definitely mothering at the ball, being like, the Uber is coming at this time. We know we're going to have to walk to the perimeter. I'm going to go get the coats. We have a hilarious video of her just holding all 4 of our giant coats, like tapping her foot,
Yeah.
waiting for us. But no, it was super fun. And so that is when we had the icy cold walk again outside the perimeter.
yeah,
And I equate it to this in Harry Potter. Those of you, if you know, you know. There's the staircases at Hogwarts and they constantly move. So
Right.
you could be on a staircase and then it moves in different direction. And so that's confusing for the kids. I wish they wouldn't have that for the Hogwarts kids.
Yeah.
They could fix that.
that's
but
just
for
a little sidebar. But yeah,
whatever reason,
fix it.
fix it. That's what was happening with the perimeter. And we figured out that you'd be walking down the street and you're like, we're good. We're beelining.
Yeah.
We're outside the perimeter. And then all of a sudden it would stop. And the guards there would stand there and say, nope, we just popped this one up. Someone up above is coming out of a very, very important meeting, a very important building, someone very high up, high ranking. We cannot let you go any further. You have to now backtrack and go around.
Dang.
So we were on the
Dang.
Harry Potter streets trying to go here and there and everywhere. And honestly, like this is just good info for y'all to have if you ever go to an inauguration. I imagine from here on out, security will be that tight forevermore.
As it should be.
Don't you think?
As it should be.
I think forevermore, this is just how it's going to be if you go to an inauguration.
Yeah.
So
Well-
be ready, dress warm, have the right shoes. Like just, again, we were in heels and it just was what it was. But like
Oh, I
my
bet your
big blue
feet were
coat was warm.
I bet it was. It's amazing. That
I
big blue
was-
coat. I saw it when I came inside. I wanted to put my own eyeballs on that big blue coat.
It
and
is
it's fantastic.
So warm.
Where did you get that?
It's from Amazon.
From Amazon.
But
okay.
it was like 130. So it was a
Okay.
little more. And I thought, okay, if it's a little more like
a winter
it's
coat.
going to feel warm.
Yeah.
Right. And it
Right.
surely did.
Okay, good.
So we get back, we pretty much crash. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just like,
It was a long day.
it's late. It's been a
Yeah.
long day. But we wake up on the 20th. It's inauguration day.
It's inauguration day.
It's inauguration day. And we again, because everything got moved inside, we didn't have to worry about getting somewhere super early in the morning
Right.
to get a good seat, get a good spot.
Yeah.
We were like, we can leave by 9, it's fine, which
Sure.
was great because we got a little more sleep.
Thank God.
And that is when we put on our USA snowsuits.
They were amazing. What's funniest about them is listening in every video of them walking. It's shoo, 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 shoo. Just a constant, soundtrack to their day.
It really was.
The ski suits swishing as
Yes.
you walked by.
So
They kept you warm.
they kept us so warm.
So smart.
I found these back in December.
Okay.
I stumbled upon them and I said, ladies, this is what we're wearing.
Get information.
Because no matter where we are, if we're standing at the Capitol to watch, whatever we're doing, we know it's going to be cold on January 20th in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely.
We had no idea.
How cold?
Right. We had no idea.
It was going to be a polar vortex, but
right. But I knew, I'm like, this will absolutely keep us warm and patriotic.
Yeah.
So we all got them. And as soon as we all put them on together, it was just like the funniest thing ever.
It was so smart though, because you were going to get attention wherever you went.
Yes.
And let me say this, before I knew that she was going, or she told me she was going off air, last week. And I was like, well, if I were with you, I would get you to all the right places because I just have that kind of luck, which I do when I am places. I do just kind of have that kind of luck. Usually, it's the hair. It alarms people. Then they actually listen to me, whatever I have to say. And I do end up in the right place, right time. But once I saw those outfits, and honestly, I should have never even doubted that Chrissy T would have gotten them wherever they needed to be.
Yes.
And in the right spaces and all that stuff. But once I saw the ski suits, I was like, oh my gosh, they are going to be interviewed by every single outlet, by every person they go by. They are going to get into rooms that they would not have gotten in.
Correct.
They are going to be invited places. I just knew that I would see her on the front page of People Magazine if they covered the inauguration.
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as we got out of our Uber,
Yeah.
again, as close to the perimeter as we could get, there was no plan. We had no plan. No,
Right.
we didn't know where we were going.
Nope.
Just get us close and we'll hop out. As soon as we hopped out, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Can I, what are your names? Can I interview you? I'm with, the Philadelphia Fox News. I'm with this, I'm with that. And we just want every, 20 feet, we were taking a photo, but we were happy to do it. It was like,
This is your whole day. What else are you going to do?
Exactly. That's kind of what we wanted, was just like, it's the energy. It ended up being a gorgeous day. I mean, I'm kind of like, did y'all need to cancel it? I think maybe there was some security question marks as well.
I mean, I guess I get that, but there were people everywhere.
I
mean, it was
know.
so locked down.
It was really locked down.
I don't know. I don't know what the real reason is.
I don't know if we'll ever really
I don't know if we'll know. Well, he might declassify it.
I know. He might. He might, because transparency and truth matters.
It does.
So we just started walking and we're talking to people as we pass by. We can tell some people are kind of on their way to places. So we would ask them, where are you going to watch it? Where are you going to watch it? Because everybody just had to scatter. You kind of had to find somewhere to go if you wanted to watch the swearing in.
Sure.
And so I'm texting Matt. It's about 10:30. I'm like, babe, figure out where you think we should go. So he's kind of on it here at home, figuring out some things. We pass a woman. She says, y'all should go to the Dubliner.
Okay.
And we said, okay, it's right up here. That's where we'll go. We go in the Dubliner, a little Irish pub, which I love an Irish pub.
Love an Irish pub.
And it's very tiny but
it's cozy and it's got all the
Yes.
dark wood and the great lighting.
And they had good food and all the things. But, we just walk in. We immediately stick out like a sore thumb, but everyone enjoyed it. And
Pause real quick. I am now starting to burp up all those pills you gave me. What did you give me?
Okay, y'all, I gave Miranda some just happiness and joy pills before this.
Is there some fish or something in there? Fish oil or
There was
something?
an omega.
Yeah,
There
that's
was
it.
some D in omega. I don't think there was fish in it though. It was a 5-HTP, a cortisol manager, an NAD.
No, I should have known better. I should have known better than to accept your floral bouquet of oil concoction. And we're back here again. You know what? Fool me once,
Shame
shame
on
on
me.
you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's on me. That's on me.
How many years has it been since that floral bouquet?
million.
I mean, it's probably been 8
10.
years.
I don't know. I don't know time.
It
but
could be to the day.
It literally could be. It actually probably is. If we were to go back and look, yeah, let me hit up the archives. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just need you to know that I burped a couple minutes ago, inside.
Yeah.
And tried to make sure it wasn't going to be on the microphone. And I felt a twinge, and now it is full throttle on the second one. So I can't wait to see what happens in 5 more minutes.
Okay, I want you to just, if you need to burp.
Do it, and y'all just know I'm going to try to diagnose whatever the taste is in my mouth for you.
We should have known. Okay, it's just adding to the story.
Okay, so you're at the Dubliner.
We're at the
Matt's
Dubliner.
trying to, yes, you're at the Dubliner.
And so we're taking photos with lots of people there, and we take a photo with the guy, and I will call him Harry.
Okay.
For the sake of the story. So Harry he takes photos. He's like, let me send this to my colleagues. He's giving very Southern boy political.
Okay.
Very Southern accent. Probably in his 50s.
Okay.
And anyway, so pictures. Harry leaves. It's like, we don't give that a second thought. So then we step out of the Dubliner because we need space. Like, it's so crowded in there. We need space to figure out, are we watching it here? Are we going where Matt suggests? What should we do? Let's make a plan. That's when the Irish TV guy comes up and is like, I got to interview you guys for our Irish TV.
Okay.
We do an interview with him. As we finish that, Harry comes back by and he's like, oh, y'all are still here. And he looks at us and he's like, this is just what y'all have done here is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to come with me.
Okay.
Let's go see what we can make happen.
Let's go.
And so
this is titillating. This is
I know.
I love this sort of stuff.
And so we're all trying to play it cool,
Yeah.
right? But we're giving each other the eyeballs. Now, Jen's radar is very much up, and she's just kind of like, we're not doing anything shady, right?
No.
We're not going to someone's basement in
No.
the tunnels of DC.
No, we're not doing that.
And so he goes and gets his phone. We're kind of waiting around, maybe 20 minutes. He's making some calls, figuring out what he could do.
Yep.
And he said, come with me. Let's go down Constitution Avenue. We're going to go to the end.
Constitution Avenue.
Y'all know Constitution.
amazing. It's
so
amazing.
we go down, and this is all facing the Capitol. I mean,
Yeah.
Capitol is right there.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
right
You
along
just
the
have
perimeter.
museums and
Yes.
Capitol and government buildings, but Constitution Avenue is just iconic.
Just
It's
right
like a
there.
beautiful street.
So we get down, we go in, and we immediately see this is not shady. This is very high level. It's very secure. He talks to security. He's able to get us wristbands. And
Yeah.
that's when we know, okay, we did it. We made our way into somewhere.
Into something.
Something.
Yeah.
And so we follow him up to the floor with security. We walk in, and it is just food everywhere, open bar, but very proper people. And
yeah,
we
and then
walk
you guys
in.
show up in your ski suits and your fuzzy hats.
We walk in, and everyone is like this, and it's very much like the clown music. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
the
dun.
record scratches.
Yes, the record scratches. However,
Yeah.
people were delighted by it, and I was a little worried walking in.
I bet.
"Ooh, we're not trying to crash your happy formal event.
We're not the also we're not the sideshow.
No, yes.
because we are very pulled together people, and we're here
Yes.
we are here for a momentous occasion,
Yeah,
but
historic,
there is
yeah.
reverence in this occasion.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we were like, okay, we're going to be on our best behavior, but
Yeah.
Harry brought us here.
Yeah.
So,
Blame Harry.
Blame him. But honestly, I think because of who he is, so we find out that he is a lobbyist
Okay.
for the particular industry that was throwing this party.
Okay, got it.
And so that's his job is
Yeah.
to talk and shake
Schmooze.
hands and schmooze. And so for
It's to hug people and kiss babies.
yes, for him to bring us, I think people felt like, okay, great. Harry found these folks and they're cool and
Yeah.
he feels
If,
good about
if they're
it.
Harry's people, then there are people.
That's exactly it. And so we just milled about
And they had TVs kind of set up in this room I saw.
everywhere. They had TVs in a
Okay.
couple different spots.
And the volume you could hear and piped
Yes.
in and
Oh, yeah.
everything. Okay, good.
Yeah, volume was in.
Good,
And
good.
so, probably within 10 to 15 minutes after getting there, here comes JD Vance. He
Yeah.
goes first. Then we do Trump and then Trump's speech. And we really got to see any and all of it that we wanted to, but also, just chatting with Mississippi boys who all have the most Southern names that you can imagine, one after the other.
Yeah.
And it was just neat to interact with people I would otherwise never get to meet or have a conversation with.
That's why it's so cool. And we talk about it all the time. That's why we go to the BravoCons. That's why we go to, the coronations and these big kind of zeitgeisty things.
Yeah.
You go because you are going to be exposed to people you would have maybe never ever met in any other universe at any other time.
Correct.
Like
Anybody
me
in that
having
room.
Biden drive by me in Delaware.
That's right.
You just never know, but you got to put yourself there. You got
That's
to
it.
get out there. there.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm just so glad that you guys were able to get in somewhere that wasn't so crowded and so chaotic.
Yes.
And that
Gave us
you-
free food and drinks.
that gave you free food and drinks, but also that they accepted you in.
Yes, they accepted us in. And I even was
I
like,
love that because you don't want to show up somewhere as like, oh yeah, we're there. We're just the group that got asked to be here, and then
Yes.
everyone is just side eyeing you like, because we've had that happen. Before.
we sure have. And I was a
You are
little
just,
bit
who are
worried.
these girls?
Worried about like the women of this group because women can be that way to each other.
Yeah.
And I was a little
Be
worried,
better.
but no, like so many of these ladies, some our age, some a little bit older, coming up to us, striking up conversations. And they had people there from Austria, Canada, Australia,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, you genuinely would have never met them.
yeah, it was just, and they just had so much to say, and they would tell us about their
They're
governments,
gonna say it.
and they're going to say it. They really did. I should have brought this bell. And they would tell us about their governments and what's happening with them. I mean, we had just so many good, informed, like amazing
Yeah,
conversations.
because newsflash, like no other country has figured it out either.
No.
Like everyone has turmoil. Everyone has some problem. I mean, look at what's happening in Canada. Like
Yeah, true.
literally there's no perfect country out there, and we can think and we can opine about, oh well, it's better because they don't have this problem, but they have a different one. Like,
Yeah.
people will say, oh well, they don't have gun violence. Yeah, but they might have a different problem.
Yes.
Every country has its Achilles heel,
That's right.
and none of them are perfect. And if you just talk to people from other countries, you will hear them say that. Even Miriam was talking about it in our Wicked one in that episode, like that there are major problems there too.
That's right.
And so I think that people need to remember that you are not living in a perfect country because because there are no perfect people, and it is run by the people.
That's right.
For the imperfect people.
That's right.
And so you might think that I lean more one way than another way, and you lean more one way than another way, and everything. And at the end of the day, like, they're also, the government is trying to keep people as divided as possible, and you don't need to fall for that.
That's right.
You really don't need to. You could go to this inauguration, then you could go to one in 4 more years, and the next 4 years, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who's up there. You're just going to experience something that is a once in every 4-year event, and if you can go once in your lifetime, it's a once in a lifetime event. And so why not try to do that? Why not try to be there and just be like, what is going on? This is what it's like in real life.
That's
Like,
it. And I encourage people, like, try to go to one, whether it's your person or
Yeah.
not. Like, if you find yourself in a position that you can go.
I didn't even know that
Go.
like, just anyone could until this one was kind of being
Yeah,
talked about, and
I
I had
know.
been at all that sort of stuff. I was like, wait, anybody could go? And they're
Mhm.
like, well, yeah, it's outside.
Yeah, it's outside. It can hold, 300, 400,000 people.
You just gotta show up. I said, oh, I guess I didn't really realize that. So
Mhm.
it's just something to know that if your person gets in, your party or person gets in 4 years, if you want to go, go.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just go.
Yeah.
Just experience
really cool.
it. It was really cool. We mill about great espresso martinis, I have to say.
They look just the right color.
Okay, they had a special section that was like, here's our espresso machine. This is our coffee bar. This is what we do. It was, you could tell that was kind of the signature thing that they were doing.
Yeah.
And so Michelle and I had a couple of those.
Yeah.
And Gigi is doing a lot of research. During all of this, Gigi's watching a lot of live streams, and she's trying to figure out like where some people are and what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
she's kind of still plugged into social media. I felt like I wasn't looking at anything.
Sure.
I was just kind of talking to people. She figures out that all the media is on our roof.
I was wondering when we were going to get to the roof.
They're all on our roof.
Amazing.
And because she's holding up, she's like, okay, here's Daily Wire, and you
Yeah.
can see the Capitol, and here's our view. Okay, here's CNN, and that's their view. But they all have the same view. How
Yeah.
could they have the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
view?
yeah.
So she's figuring this out.
Yeah, the
She-
press is always intense and
Yeah.
all in the same spot though. Just boom, boom, boom,
Boom, boom, boom. So she drops this, I believe, to Harry, and is like, I know what's going on the roof. I know. And it's really hard to say no to Gigi. I got to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
she can sweet talk.
Well,
her way
she's
into
going to
anything.
talk this close to you about
Yes.
it.
Yeah, she's going to talk.
So it's hard. It's
You can't escape
you cannot. You will just listen
and say yes.
and you won't judge.
So she gets that out of him. I believe he's like, yeah, That is what's going on
Yeah.
on the roof. So at some point, Gigi and I break off. She has figured out that she's best friends with the security guard in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
So we go down there and we talk to him, and she's like, hey, Harry was going to take us up, but he said maybe talk to you. And this guy was so great, so sweet. And he looked at us and was like, let's go. I'll take you.
And just let's press the rooftop button.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take
Let's
you right
scan
now.
you in.
And I said, we got to stop by our floor to scoop up the other two because there are
Yes,
4 of us.
yes,
and
yes.
he said, okay, tell him to run to the elevator.
Oh boy.
So we stop. They get on. Now all 4 of us and the security guy, he takes us right up to the penthouse. And we come out and it is just like
Yeah.
crazy.
it's just all these lights.
all the lights,
All the lights.
all the tents in a row.
Yeah.
It's cords, it's
Yeah.
producers, it's
Yep.
people with the headphones.
Yep.
And we are walking through and they're all just like, what is this?
Yeah.
But we're just following
No,
our
you're
security
shh,
guard. Shh, 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 shh. But he takes us to a great spot where we have such a clear view of the Capitol.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, and again, because it was such a beautiful day, we got great video and pictures of that, took some selfies, took some pictures with some press people who wanted photos with us.
Yeah.
And it was just like, even just to do that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes. So
Um,
cool.
And so we walked through, and Gigi was really gunning to try to meet the Daily Wire
I
guys.
know. I assumed she was. So they were up there too.
Yes, they were up there too. It turns out that Ben Shapiro did walk by, and Jen saw him. And
Oh.
he gave us a double take, but Jen wasn't quite sure. And by the time she realized it was him, he had turned the corner.
Dang.
So we waited a little bit, but the guy came back and was like, everyone is on air. Like, they're all on air. There's
Yeah.
nothing we can do.
No.
So we were like, it's fine. This has been amazing just to like
Yes.
be here.
Just to see it.
So we're walking back to the elevator, and that's when Kaylee McEnany
Oh.
turns the corner, and I just shout her name.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kaylee.
Kaylee.
And she turns. She is this big,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
stunning. And we just said, can we get a quick picture? She said, of course, of course. So we snap a photo with her. We ride the elevator down with her.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our big adventure in the building. It was just
What? But this is so neat. So you decide to go to this random pub because Matt says so. You
no, the girl on the street told
the
us
girl
to go.
on the street.
Yeah.
You meet Harry there.
Yeah.
Then he walks back by you and you just happen to be standing outside at the right time. Then
Yeah.
he says, okay, come with me. Then
Yeah.
Gigi knows to be looking.
Yeah.
And then the roof and the security guard.
It's
and
crazy.
this is just what happens.
It's just what happens.
It's just what happens.
And we just,
I love it.
yeah, we, for the whole day, just,
It makes the whole day worth it because
It
here's
did.
this big plan that you had and it
Yeah.
was such a bummer.
Yeah.
It's the kid with the ice cream cone and it falls.
yeah, it
You're
was.
high to low, but then something comes along and it's totally redeemed.
Totally redeemed. And I think a big part of me was just like, this is Michelle's 40th, and I just want her to like feel happy
Yeah.
and for something good to happen and to have that like solid
Yes.
memory. And we
Yes.
really, really did. And what's really cool is, Trump and all of them, they do the luncheon,
Yeah.
and then we know the motorcade is going to go by somewhere. Again, it's constantly moving. They don't want to
Yeah.
tell people where it's
No.
coming by.
No.
We see the snipers on the roof. All their guns are pointed at us.
Yeah.
And I was like, any one of them could just shoot me in the head.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was interesting to see.
Uh-huh.
But we're standing there, and then all of a sudden, here comes the ambulance first.
There it is.
And right on Constitution, we
Yep.
get to see right down in front. Here they come by. And that was so rad. It was like an exclamation mark
Yes.
kind of on the end of it.
Yes.
And so, yeah. So at that point, it starts to kind of get later. We hang out in the lobby a little bit to see who we see. We did see one Daily Wire kind of younger guy come through. We took a photo with him. And then we just like milled around. We took a picture with the National Guard.
Yeah.
There was a Spanish TV station that wanted to speak to us. Gigi speaks Spanish.
Of course she does.
So she got to talk to the guy. There was a girl doing a thing. They were like, well, y'all just walk by in the background of our
Right.
girl.
Yeah.
So we did that. Like, it was just on the way home. There were just like things to do, people's videos to be in, photos to take.
Lots of interviews of
Yes.
just people standing there. around.
Yeah. But it very quickly got bitterly cold.
Okay.
Bitterly cold. And I feel that that is the first time in my life that I realized how people die in the cold. Like, obviously, we know that
Yes.
happens.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I felt,
Yeah.
like if I,
Shocking.
like this is my fingers and my nose and everything's going to start to shut down here in just a
Right.
second. Like,
right.
so your adrenaline and you got to keep moving. And we could see the Uber on the perimeter and we're just like hustling to get to him. And he was an angel because it was so hot in his Uber.
thank God.
We jumped in and headed back and still took more pictures with people back at the
course.
hotel.
Yes.
We had 1 hour of energy left in us to eat dinner.
I
And that
bet.
was it.
I bet y'all did. Now, did you ever get any hate? Did you guys
No.
run into anybody heckling or any?
Not
of that
one
stuff?
time. Not one time. Can you believe
Wow.
that?
Yeah. No, I think that's pretty incredible.
And that's another thing I want people to
Yeah.
know is like, again, just go up. If your guy wins, if your gal wins, like go up
Yeah.
and enjoy it. Don't worry about, I think from this point on, don't worry about the safety. Don't worry about Antifa or whoever. I just think that now that has been shut down when it comes to inaugurations.
Okay.
They really figured it out this time around.
Yeah.
And there was not one heckler, nothing. Not in the airport when we went home, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Isn't that surprising?
It's very surprising.
Yeah.
Because even at the coronation, we had, all the anti-monarchy movements and
Yeah.
people screaming and protesters and everything. Like even there, again, because no country's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. We did. So when we were in when we were in the area watching, at the party, we did have one woman who was mean. She was mean to us.
Why?
I think it's the kind of woman that maybe just didn't like our presence there.
Okay.
But we had a guy that would open one of the side doors for us to help us cool off because we are in snowsuits and thermals.
Yeah.
So he was helping us cool off and we would just stand there for a few minutes at a time. She came over like towards the end of it and was like, we really need this door closed. The rest of us are cold. Now, I don't believe that at all
No.
because of the location.
Yeah.
And we said, oh, we're sorry. This is our buddy now. And like, he's just letting us cool down. And she said, well, if you need to cool down, you can leave.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Be
Uh-oh.
like, actually, we're gonna go to the roof to all the press tents anyway. We'll cool off up there. Thank you.
But I said,
Damn.
thank God Michelle wasn't standing there when
Right.
that happened.
She would have popped off.
Because she was a couple espresso martinis
Yeah.
in, and she would have absolutely popped off on this one. And it was the end of the day, so like, who cares at this point?
We get kicked out. We're done.
yeah,
it's
but I
fine.
was
We're
like-
over it
I was
anyway.
like, I think it was meant to be that she was
Yes.
over here, and
Yeah.
it
Oh,
just
that's
caught us
funny.
so off guard. It was like, oh, okay, like we'll shut the door.
Sorry. I guess we'll shut the door.
Don't be mad.
Well, there's always got to be someone, though. That's what I'm saying. There's
I know.
always
There's
got to
always
be
somebody.
someone.
So y'all, that's my two things. I know
Yes.
I know that was a lot, but I feel
You know what?
I wanted to tell it. And podcasts, please hear my heart in this. Y'all know that Miranda and I differ politically on some things.
Sure.
I differ politically with people who are very dear to me, very close to me.
Oh, absolutely.
And
we all do.
we all do.
We all do.
And I hope and I pray that we're coming to a point where we can all differ
Yes.
and still love each other.
Absolutely.
I hope that a lot of lessons were learned from COVID.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Where people really like cut off family and treated each other so horribly because of that. And I think some lessons were learned through that it's like
Please.
nothing is worth losing your friends and family over.
Absolutely not.
And
No. The government cannot be the reason why, or
Right.
politics, or a policy, or whatever. Not only that, but let me just say this.
yes, say it.
You have to, if you are a good friend, you have to, if you know a friend is going to be so delighted by something, it doesn't matter if you're into it or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you agree or not.
Mm-hmm.
You should be thrilled that your friend got to experience something that's a lifelong dream for them. It doesn't have to be your dream. For you to be thrilled for them.
Yeah.
So for me to watch y'all, specifically you four, go there and have such an incredible experience filled with memories that you will go to your deathbed thinking
Oh yeah,
of.
things we can tell our grandchildren. Yeah.
That I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you guys got to have this, especially once we heard that it was getting moved inside. Like,
Yeah.
there are so many people in my life who do not understand why I give any rips about the royal family.
Yeah.
What does it matter to you? That's not your country or whatever. Like they do these bad things and, and I'm anti this and they're pro that and no. And but there were so many people who were so happy for me.
That's right.
Happy for me because I fulfilled my dream.
Yeah. I cried when I found out. I cried the morning I saw your text.
Yes.
And I ran downstairs and I told Matt, she met Princess Kate, and I started bawling. Like,
I
this
can
is not.
cry in an instant thinking about it.
I know.
because but it goes back to, just be happy for your friends, be happy for your family, be happy for people because they're happy. It's
Yeah.
okay. It doesn't have to be your thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be your side or your person.
Yeah.
You should be happy for them because they are living their dream. You don't even have to understand it. Stop saying that. I don't even understand it. It's not for you to understand then.
Yeah.
It's really not.
It's the truth.
Just be happy for them that they got to experience a once in a lifetime thing, whether you agree with it or not. If they're happy, you should at least at the bare minimum be able to say, I can see why they are happy.
That's it. And
I can see why they are
I think
happy.
a lot of people, if you're listening to this and you're on the other side, they might say, well, but it's really more about Trump, right? Like he's so divisive and all of this. And I could argue many things back with you about that. But as we've said on this podcast, people vote a certain way based on their lived experience and what's important to them.
Yeah.
I know that Lake and Riley's family is so happy Trump won.
Absolutely.
And that the Lake and Riley Act already, right now in
Yes.
this moment, has been passed.
Has been signed, yeah.
Has been signed,
Yep.
and it is now law. And
Democrats voted for it too, by the way.
that's right.
I
And
just need to say that
it was
a bipartisan.
it was bipartisan.
Yes.
So I know that family is so pleased. The heartache and everything they've been through.
They are going to be pro-Trump forever.
Forever.
Because this one thing.
That's it.
But that one thing was their whole world.
That's it.
So they are allowed. You don't get to say to Lake and Riley's mom, I don't know why you like Trump. I hate him.
Yeah.
What are you...
You don't get to say that.
Again, and it also comes back to do not center yourself in someone else's story.
That's it.
Do not center yourself. You are your own person living your own life. You have your own lived experiences, and that's why you decided to vote one way or another. That's why these certain tenets are so important to you. Then that's good. That's you.
Yeah.
That's you. So you wouldn't go to the inauguration because you're anti-Trump. That's you. That's your story.
That's it.
This is theirs.
That's right. And you
So-
know what? When we gave interviews, I found this really interesting. They really wanted to know, because we could never quite tell how the
Sure.
interviewer leaned.
No.
And not that mattered, but they would ask each of us individually, what is it that you're interested in with the Trump presidency? Why does this matter to you?
Yeah.
And even in the four of us,
Such a variety of answers.
yes, we were giving different answers. Someone would say, I just want transparency in our government.
Yeah.
That is what matters to me. I think there's been a lot of lies and a lot of cover up, and I'm ready for the truth to be out.
Yep.
Someone might be very,
Whether I want to hear it or not.
Yes,
Whether
yes.
I agree with the truth or not.
someone might be very pro-life, and that really matters to them.
Yeah.
For me, I specifically, every time I'm talking about healthcare and I'm talking about my daughter's safety in her sports and in her private spaces, because I have a daughter.
Yeah.
All of us had something different
Sure.
to add.
Sure.
And anybody who's looking at Trump saying this is what we wanted are also saying, now do it.
Do it.
'Cause you
promises made, promises kept.
Hopefully kept. And that
And that's
everyone's going to have their monocle on for the
Yeah.
next 4 years watching that. I mean, and I think he knows that. So we'll see.
And it's totally fine when you disagree with that.
Yeah.
Because that promise made, you don't agree with. Great. That's still your story.
That's
That's
it.
you. Don't center yourself in other people's lived experiences. You will be so much happier.
Yes.
So much less stressed. So much less anxious. It's so vital for people to get back to realizing that you are only you.
Yeah.
That's what, so do not put yourself and insert yourself in someone else's story. Don't do that. And honestly, no one owes you an explanation anyway.
That's right.
No one owes you an explanation as to why. You don't get to say, well, you need to defend yourself to me.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Your one vote. You have to defend that one vote.
Why do I have to do that to you? Why? What is it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm like literally flabbergasted when people tell me,
Yeah, you got to defend it.
tell me why.
And you've had some people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm not doing it.
No,
You aren't. Going
I owe you nothing.
You're not going to bait me in this way.
And just because you're public with
Yeah.
your Instagram and like for people to think that they can have like a gotcha moment with you
Mm-hmm.
is truly troubling.
Mm-hmm. You're not. It's not going to work.
We're not doing a gotcha.
No, we're not doing a gotcha and a baity thing. And like this way we can lead this big charge of, hate or love. And
Yeah.
based on whatever answer I give you, like I'm just here to say that I only have so much time. I only have so much bandwidth and I only have so much energy.
Yeah.
And I really, well, one, I don't owe anyone a response to anything. I just don't. Like, none of us do. You don't owe anyone. I don't owe anyone. Like,
Nope.
none of that. Now, if you're married to me, if you came out of my vagina, if you are in my phone contact list, or we share some sort of blood type relative situation, then yes, okay, you're worthy of my response. And even for some of those people, we are on very much a case by case basis.
That's right.
Okay. So just know that you're not going to come in wild and accusatory and rude
Mm,
to my DMs.
no.
And if you come in that with that kind of energy and that kind of attitude, I'm not going to reply back at all.
No.
Like, that's just, I'm not going to reply back at all.
You'll be left on red.
Yes, because if you aren't going to come to me with some level of respect,
Right.
yes, and courtesy, then we're not, that it's just not going to happen, because I then don't have to, it's just, I'm turned off immediately.
Yes.
Turned off immediately. And then 2, so these are my 2 things. Don't do that. And then, okay, I am going to leave you on red, and it's not because I don't have an incredible answer to give, because I can assure you I do.
Yes.
I can assure you I do.
Yes, she does.
But I'm also just, I'm just not, you're not worthy of that response at that point anyway anymore with an attitude.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And then number 2, you need to deeply, I encourage you to examine your parasocial relationships. A parasocial relationship is someone who you have a one-sided relationship with, and it happens on social media all of the time. It happens with celebrities a lot.
Yes.
You love a certain celebrity, and so you have this idea that, like, well, I have followed you and I've supported you and I've bought your crystals or whatever. And so you now owe me. You owe me something in return.
Yeah.
And it is a relationship of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you owe me. Why did you vote that way? You want to ask that celebrity, why you prove yourself to me. You don't get to.
No.
That is a one-sided relationship. You need to examine why you need to hear a response from this person who
Yes.
is otherwise really not in your life. Now, social media has mucked this all up
It
because
has.
you
It has.
think that you are very good friends with people you follow.
Yeah.
Even if you've never met them. And I do think that there can be genuine relationships built that way. And I
Yes.
think that they can be two-sided. I think that that can be reciprocal.
Yes.
However, you do still need to you need to get really honest with yourself about the level of this relationship and then what those people you think owe you.
That's right.
And I think for the most part, if you haven't met them in real life and you would never say this to their face anyway, then that is a good barometer of, I'm not going to send that in a DM.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, still, even on our phones, our pages are our pages. These are our homes online. Our DMs are even more sacred because they're private and no one sees what you say except for you and the other person. And so it's like coming into the most private, intimate areas of someone's home and slinging some wild at them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you would never go into someone's real home
and actually do
and
that.
just pop. You literally walk in the door and uninvited. You wouldn't just go to their home, bust open the door and start screaming at them. That it would be insane. Like,
Yes.
if you really thought about it.
Yes.
That's what sliding into someone's DMs, because they can't open them without knowing what you've started to say, really.
Right. That's them opening the
Yeah.
door.
You're just opening a door and you're just throttled with craziness,
Yeah.
rude, just
criticism.
or terrible things said about you or your body or your family. And I deal with this enough that I'm here to beg people to stop doing that.
Please.
Stop doing that. It is weird. It's
Yeah.
actually really creepy and weird that you would do it at kind of best. And it is extremely damaging, harmful at worst.
Yes.
Because you don't know how you're going to catch someone that day. I have had an incredibly hard week, maybe the hardest last 7 days of my entire life.
Yes.
I do not need to open up a DM asking me to prove myself, defend myself, answer some sort of question to someone I haven't seen in 10 years. I think that that is insane. I would never act that way.
No,
I
and
would
it's-
never do that to another person.
It says so much more about that person than it could ever say about you, anything you are being accused of or what they think they know. This is what I find interesting is the detective work people think they're really
The
doing
assumptions.
and the assumptions, and you think you've it's like a gotcha, and it's like, no, you don't got me.
No.
You thought you got me.
I
but you
follow
didn't.
people from all sorts of walks.
Yes, you do.
All sorts of
You not only
religions,
follow-
politics, everything. Y'all, I
Yes.
follow people from everywhere, and know that I am getting my news from a million different places.
That's right.
There is no tunnel vision here.
No.
I really genuinely pride myself on having an open mind
Yes.
and hearing every single damn side. And I do research and I do think about things. Do not come into me accusing me of something that you know nothing about because you saw 2 likes on a post or get out of here. You need to go find a hobby. You need to volunteer. You need to bang your husband. I don't know, but it is not coming into my DMs. That is not the move. It's not.
People do just need to get banged, I think. I think a lot of times this is the problem.
I don't know what it is, but I need
You need a release. You need a physical release.
go get a physical, go work out, go do something. But
Yeah.
you know, it's not going into an influencer's DMs or anyone's. It's not the move.
It's not the
It's not the
move.
move you think it is.
Yeah.
I kind of don't know what would even prompt someone to do it because it's so foreign. I would never do it. But I don't know what you think you're going to accomplish, and I also do not know what the end goal is.
Yeah.
What's the move here? Why are you doing it?
Well, it's never going to change
Go
anybody's
find a
mind.
real person. Yeah, it's not going to change your mind. You never are going to change someone's minds in the day. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'm persuasive enough. I guess there's enough people who have been like, well, I see it. But that's because I posted on my story. They replied not in a wild way.
Yeah.
And then I was able to reply something back in a nice, courteous way. And then, oh, okay, there's an aha. I didn't realize that.
Discourse is good. I mean,
Yes.
we have to have people
Fine.
have different perspectives on issues. We can do that. You're welcome to say, well, why do you think that?
But do
Why
not be
don't you like that
accusatory.
policy? Ask those questions. That's
Sure.
great. But coming in hot, coming in accusatory, saying, I've lost all respect for you because I saw XYZ thing.
Absolutely not.
It's not going to get the result that
No.
you want. It's not the
Well, it's not even going to get a response.
it's
from
not
me,
going to
so.
get a response. It's not the gotcha that you think it is.
It's
just
really not. It's not. Don't do
not.
it. That's it.
Okay, those are our 2 things. Okay, I'm gonna end. If anybody,
Should
if any of you are mad at me right now in this moment, I'm gonna tell you something dumb I did yesterday to send us out.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
I went downstairs to get 2 Mucinex tablets. Okay,
Yes.
it's like the clear little tablet and it's orange.
Okay.
At the very same time, I, like an idiot, had gotten a handful of jelly beans.
Did you bite into the Mucinex tablets?
I did.
Oh, how bad did that taste? As bad as my burps right now?
Yes, as bad as your burps. Y'all. And I was walking back upstairs because my water was upstairs. My air tag told me where my Stanley was. And
Oh my God. Her baba.
my baba. And so I'm eating the jelly beans. And in my brain, I know I still have 2 jelly beans left. But those were in my right hand, friends. They were in my right hand. And I get close to my water. And I'm like, let me eat these last 2 jelly beans before I take my Mucinex. And I pop those 2 Mucinex in my mouth. But you know when your brain thinks that it's one thing? And so to chew a jelly bean, you kind of have to give it a
Yeah.
bite to open it. You don't suck on it.
No, you don't
bite
suck on it.
I bit down so hard on those Mucinex that it popped. It made like a crack. And I swear I thought I broke my tooth.
No.
It was that hard.
Oh no.
I cracked down and y'all, liquid Mucinex just filled my mouth.
The feeling no, I was going to try to do it. The smell filled the room, but the Mucinex filled the mouth. The taste filled the mouth.
The taste filled
squirt filled the mouth.
It did. And it was not pleasant. I immediately knew what I did and I looked at my other hand and there's my 2 red jelly beans.
No.
And I go to my water and I only have like this
Of
much
course,
left.
it's always the case when you have nothing left. You literally go to sip on the straw and it's just whistling back at you.
I was dying. I was like, oh my God. So I'm like trying to then like swallow the remnants of these pills, the carcass of these
Oh
pills.
my, because now they're deflated.
They're deflated.
They're like my titties.
Yes, it's like your 2 titties in my mouth, 2 deflated snakes. just with just the most disgusting.
Which you have always wanted.
I've always wanted
two
them in my
titties in your mouth.
And so they're swirling around. I have no water. I'm running to my bathroom sink. I'm trying to get water.
Yeah.
And so then I did eat the 2 jelly beans to try to like mask the taste.
Yes.
It was so dumb. And I thought, you know what? I have to tell Miranda this tomorrow. I
can't
think
believe
she's
it.
going to want to know. And hopefully if you all are mad at me,
Do not be mad at Kristen for loving, for being happy, for fulfilling a life stream.
that's right.
Do not be mad at her for that.
Yeah.
Y'all, the reason why we got into this place to begin with
Mm-hmm.
is because people stopped humanizing others
Yeah.
and they just looked at them as the anti,
Yeah.
the different, the other.
Mm-hmm.
If we could bring back some humanity, then we will not continue to be in this position that we're in, where it is so divided, so black and white, so one or the other, so pro, so anti, so con. So like, y'all, I'm telling you what, we have got to learn some lessons.
We do.
We have got to learn some lessons as a collective nation of people. We have got to learn some lessons. And it starts with us. It really does. And then we have all these kids looking at us and watching us and wanting to know more. And,
Yes.
it's like, what are we showing them? Are we
Yes.
showing them grace-filled people? Are we just showing them vitriol?
Yes.
And I don't like it. So do not be mad at Kristen, please. I'm asking you,
Please.
from me, if you like, I'm begging you, don't do that. Do not do that. And we have always promised that we're going to come on here and that we're going to share
Yes.
about our real lives. And it opens us up to a lot of criticism and a lot of opinions and a lot of, cancellation potential and possibilities and stuff like that. And, I would challenge anyone to do 200 plus episodes, sharing your life,
Yes.
and bearing your
Yes.
heart open and try not to piss someone off in the process of that. It's impossible. It's impossible. But we, God, at least we're honest.
We're honest.
And that's a lot more than a lot of people out here are doing.
That's what I love that. I love that so much. We are going to be, I love that. We are going to be our authentic selves and we're going to be honest. You're never going to catch us on this podcast being someone that we are not in real life. And I really pride myself on
Yes.
that who I am, whether that's here, who I am with Matt when we're alone in this home, who I am out on these streets. I want to be a consistent person. I know that is true about you as
Amen.
well.
Yes.
Who you are is who you are.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't play like that.
Nope.
A lot of people change.
But you have
the
to love
facade.
us for all of it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean you have to agree with us for all of it. But
No.
if you love us and now all of a sudden today you've decided, I didn't know that and now I don't, like, come on. You've listened to us talk for 220-ish episodes
Yeah.
and you loved every single thing and now that's all wiped away because
No.
of this. Again, you got to check that.
Yeah.
That's a you thing. Like, you got to check why you've loved her for 220 episodes, everything she said. And then now, nope, it's all gone. Nope,
Yep.
sorry, it's
Yeah.
done.
And if
Nope.
it is done for you, like, guess what? We've appreciated the support.
Yeah.
And maybe,
But I think that's
makes
crazy.
me sad. Makes me sad if
Makes
we
me
still aren't the place for you. But
Yeah. Okay.
everyone should be doing and listening to
Yes.
the right thing.
Yep.
Go listen to Jay Shetty's podcast.
I'm
maybe
sorry, we're also free, Kristen. It's not like you're not giving us any money.
it's true.
No, but
That's
I'm saying,
really
like, this
true.
is free. Like,
It is
what
free.
what's it gonna do? It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like, oh my gosh, I know, and I've been supporting all this time, and it's like you've been listening for free,
For free.
on a platform that already exists on your phone. Like,
Yeah. You're so right. You're so right.
I mean, yeah. Thank you though. No, but I do. I mean, a listen's a listen, a download's a download. But I'm still like, it's a free platform. That's why when people pop off at me, I'm like, it's
Yeah.
Instagram, it's free.
Yeah.
I've literally been giving you my life for free for 14 years.
That's it.
Every single thing about it, whether it's recipes or parenting advice or you name it. Like, I am out here just like trying to dole out some sort of wisdom. You've ingested it for 14 years for free, but now because I'm happy for my friend for going to the inauguration, it's going to
Yeah.
wipe it all away. Like, you can miss me with it then.
Absolutely. And you know what? I like peace. I like that we can be a place where everyone can feel welcome.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. So here's your second thing.
Okay, the second thing.
Your second thing is that, and we have wanted to say this, and now
let's
we're
just-
going to say
Let's
it.
just say it.
that this is a podcast. I think that there are enough podcasts out there where you don't feel like, if you are someone who was excited to go to Trump's inauguration, that you can't even bear listening to certain podcasts because it is so filled with hatred for someone like Kristen.
Yes, I'm very unwelcome on a lot of popular podcasts. Someone like me is
Correct.
unwelcome there.
Correct, because they're basically going to slur you the entire time.
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's
in their
very
content,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so here, at all that to say, everyone is welcome.
All are welcome here.
All are welcome here. We aren't going to talk any kind of crap about any kind of person
No.
who votes differently.
No,
We're not going to do that.
you'll never catch us doing
So
that.
if you're moderate, you're welcome here.
Mhm.
If you are a Republican, you're welcome here. If you're a Democrat, you're welcome here.
Yeah.
If you are anywhere, if you're libertarian, hello, you're welcome here.
Mhm.
You are welcome at ATS.
Yes.
And I think it's incredibly important for people to hear that and to believe us when we say it,
Yes.
because we aren't going to demean and diminish and make fun of and poke anyone who's different than us in any way.
I actually think it's kind of lazy. I think
That's what I said. I said earlier. It's like low hanging fruit.
It's low hanging fruit.
It's not clever, and there was nothing
not.
that went behind it.
It's lazy to poke fun at someone's affiliation in that way, someone's religion, someone's looks.
Yeah.
It's not funny. And to the podcasters that think it is,
We don't like it.
eventually the mob will turn on you too. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I would say to them if I could, is like, you think you're in the right because you're doing what's popular right now. The mob will turn on you eventually.
It always does.
That's why we want to live authentically here and say all are welcome at the table of ATS.
And that's why you also can't like blindly believe any one ideology either. It's like you have to leave. If you leave yourself open, the better off you are to change your mind. Say,
right.
Hey, I've been presented with more information.
Absolutely.
I now do not feel the same way I did as before, but you have to be able to do that. And I think a lot of people don't even have that capability anymore.
I don't.
And for us, we are always learning and always growing, and we are happy to have some very healthy, robust discourse, even with each other, you
That's
guys.
right. That's
So
right.
that's why it's fine. But everyone is welcome here. You will never hear us, pop off and make fun. And so if you've been looking for a podcast like that, where you feel like, hey, is there even a Republican out there who does? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. And I think that
that's okay.
I think the guys have had their pick
Yeah.
of some very high podcasters that maybe be more libertarian, kind of find themselves in the middle. They know
Joe Rogan.
They can listen
Literally.
to Joe Rogan. They can listen to Theo Vaughn or whoever who they've made it kind of cool, and they've made it just like, hey, everybody, just
But why
chill.
can't women?
But the women have really fallen behind in this way, and we don't have enough women podcasting who say, all are welcome.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to be really, really funny
Yep.
and laugh at things. But we don't care how you vote. We
Yep.
don't care what your lifestyle is.
Nope.
We don't care what your religion is. You're
Yep.
welcome to be here
Yep.
with us.
Yep. The only thing we care about is like giggling.
Yeah, we just want to
That's
get
it.
all.
We just want to giggle.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to need that a lot over the next 4 years.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and
stick
we
with
will
us,
giggle
baby.
and make fun.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Of that, but not of our listeners. Not of our
Absolutely not.
We'll call stuff out as we see it, and we'll giggle. This is not obviously going to turn into a political
No,
podcast.
not at all.
We don't want it to.
No.
But we want people to know of every political affiliation. You are welcome here. We want you to listen, and we love the support in that way. So don't leave.
Don't leave.
Don't leave.
And guess
Please
what?
Stay.
If you find yourself in a place where you're like, gosh, I love that I'm welcome here, share
Yes.
that with people in
Oh
your
my
life.
gosh!
Share
it
this
with-
podcast with people
Yeah.
in your life who are looking for a home too in the
That's a
podcasting world.
great point.
Yeah.
That is a great point, because I do think that there's a lot of people out there who they'll turn into this or to this one or to this one. It's just like, wow, okay, this is what they think about people like me.
Yeah.
You're never going to hear that here.
Never.
Never, 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 no matter which side you fall on. So please stick around. Don't be mad at Kristen. Don't be mad at me. God forbid. I do not need another nasty DM.
No.
I don't.
Not after this week.
No, thank God.
Absolutely not. Okay,
Okay.
we're going to ride out on the train of truth
No.
to be continued.
To be continued.
Bye.